You know, one of the most delicious cuts on a deer is the backstrap. What people don't realize is a backstrap, if you were to buy it as a piece of beef, if you count the ribs, everything behind the third rib is a New York strip, and everything ahead of it is a rib steak. We can see the backbone here, and if we get our knife in there, we can actually draw a line. You can feel those vertebrae as you come down, click, 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 click on the edge of your knife. You can come all the way down into the neck, which is really easy to do. And when we follow it up, we're gonna get about where it meets up with the hinds, and there's a bone that comes across here. A lot of people call it the H-bone, and we're gonna just follow that. There's a good outline for your backstrap. Now, if you come over to the side, you can actually feel the ribs below it. It's actually comes all the way down here above your tenderloins, and if you just draw a line with your knife like this, you can actually take them out a lot easier. We're just gonna fillet it off of the ribs, and you just let your knife, you don't need to do this fast, it's not a race, and you can see that we're right tight to the bone, and whether you want to do it from one side or the other doesn't matter. I like to work it so that I get the top off first, and then you have gravity helping you pull that backstrap out. Again, we're tight to the ribs, we're tight to the bone, we're not losing any meat on this entire prime cut of venison. Out it comes in one big piece. But again, not a race. You can see that my knife is tight to these ribs. You can actually hear and see those ribs. And as you come around them, that whole backstrap comes out. And when we're talking about prime cuts, you can actually see the ribs here. 1, 2, 3. So when we actually hold our backstrap up backwards, you can see that this thick part is your New York strip. As soon as it starts to narrow out, that's where your rib steak starts. Now, if you were to do this with a beef or a hog, domestic, they would take that right up to the back of the ears. And a lot of hunters, what they do is they look at this and it starts to get braided and fall apart and they don't know what to do. Here's the best thing. Just take a piece of it and cut it. This will barbecue up whole, and then you can cut it and not worry about how it braids. So make sure you keep the top end of your backstrap as a special piece. The rest of it is a lot more uniform and easy to deal with. And what we do is we just trim off the fat. And when you look at the back of it, you have these fat caps on. And often you can get your hands underneath and just pull them off. That's the easiest way to remove them. There might be a little bit of burger meat there that you can pull off. But the fat caps come off super easy. So if we want, we can flip this over. That big silver skin's on the bottom here. And just get right down against it tight. Wiggle your knife back and forth. Go all the way through to the end. When you turn this over, look at this. Look at that. That is prime backstrap. So we'll just finish trimming this up a little bit. There's another little piece here. Now, how do you freeze it? A lot of people cut it into steaks. I like to cut mine into chunks because I'd rather grill this whole and then cut it into pieces, and it's easier to keep nice and moist. A couple different cuts you can do. If you are going to do a steak, make sure you cut them nice and thick, just like a New York strip out of the restaurant. The other thing some people do is a butterfly cut. So about 3/4 of an inch in, you can score that, same distance out, cut through. So there's a butterfly. There's your backstraps, whole steaks or butterflies. I'm Brad Venison. There's how to do a backstrap properly, and you learned it here at Deer and Deer Hunting.